You can agree or disagree with his approach, but you can't argue with his results. The question is, are you willing to try 10x thinking in your own life? What would change if you set goals 10 times bigger and took 10 times more action? That's something worth thinking about. Outro. That's the 10x rule by Grant Cardone. If you found this summary helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more book summaries. Drop a comment and let me know what's one area where you could apply 10x thinking. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. What is the 10x rule? So what exactly is the 10x rule? Grant Cardone says there are two parts to this. First, set goals that are 10 times bigger than what you originally thought. If you want to make $100,000 a year, set a goal for $1 million instead. If you want to get 10 new clients, target 100 clients. If you want to lose 10 pounds, aim for a complete body transformation. Second, take 10 times more action than you think is necessary. If you think making 10 sales calls will work, make 100. If you think 1 hour of work is enough, put in 10 hours. If you think posting once a week is good, post 10 times. Now, you might be thinking, isn't that excessive? Unrealistic? That's exactly what Cardone addresses. He says most people drastically underestimate two things: how big their goals should be, and how much effort is actually required to achieve them. And that's why most people fail. Let me explain with a story from the book. Grant's story. Grant Cardone wasn't always successful. In his 20s, he was broke, struggling with addiction, and going nowhere. When he finally got clean and started in sales, he had a choice: play it safe or go all in. He decided to go all in with the 10x approach. While other salespeople made 10 calls a day, he made 100. While others followed up once or twice, he followed up 10 times. While others worked 40 hours a week, he worked 80100 hours. People called him crazy. They said he was doing too much. But within a few years, he became the top salesperson. Then he started his own company. Then he built a real estate empire worth billions. His point isn't that he's special or talented. His point is that he simply did 10 times more than everyone else. And here's the key insight he shares. When you take massive action, you don't just get slightly better results, you get exponentially better results. Which brings us to the 4 levels of action. The 4 levels of action. Cardone says there are 4 degrees of action, and most people are stuck in the wrong ones. Level 1, do nothing. This is where people just think about goals, plan, and dream, but never actually do anything. Obviously, this leads nowhere. Level 2, this is when you start something, face resistance or failure, and then pull back. You quit when it gets hard. Cardone says this is actually worse than doing nothing, because now you have evidence of failure. Level 3, normal actionis is where most people operate. You do what's expected, what seems reasonable, what everyone else is doing. You work your 9 to 5. You make the standard effort. You follow the conventional path. The problem? Normal action produces normal results. And in today's economy, normal results mean financial struggle. 4. Massive actionis is the 10x level. You do whatever it takes. You outwork everyone. You don't stop when you're tired, you stop when you're done. Here's what Cardone discovered. Massive action doesn't just produce 10x results. It actually solves most of your problems. Let me explain this concept because it's really interesting. Success is the solution. One of the most counterintuitive ideas in the book is this. Most people think they have problems because they're doing too much, being too ambitious, or trying too hard. Cardone flips this completely. He says your problems come from not enough success. Think about it. Money problems? That's not enough success. Time problems? Not enough success. Relationship problems? Often caused by financial stress, which is not enough success. His argument is that success solves most problems, and the way to get more success is through more action. He shares an example from his own life. When his real estate business was struggling, he didn't pull back. He didn't focus on fewer deals. He did the opposite. He looked at more properties, made more offers, called more sellers, The increased activity led to more deals, which led to more confidence, which led to even more deals. It became a positive cycle. Most people, when they struggle, they retreat. They do less, and then they struggle even more. It's a negative cycle. Cardone's point is, the solution to almost every problem is more success, which requires more action. Now, let's talk about why thinking 10x actually helps. Why 10x goals work. You might be wondering why set such unrealistic goals. Cardone explains that so-called realistic goals have a major problem. They don't inspire you. If you set a goal to make an extra $10,000 this year, that's nice. But does it really fire you up? Does it make you want to jump out of bed and attack the day? Probably not. But if you set a goal to make an extra $100,000, that's different. That changes your life. That gets you excited. That makes you rethink everything. Here's another reason. Competition. If you're competing for normal goals, you're competing against everyone. There's a crowd of people fighting for the same average results. But when you set 10x goals, you're in a different game. Most people won't even try for those goals. You've eliminated most of your competition just by thinking bigger. And here's something interesting he mentions. Even if you fall short of a 10x goal, you still end up way ahead. If you shoot for 10x and only achieve 5x, that's still 5 times better than your original target. But if you shoot for your original target and fall short, you've failed. 10x goals change your entire approach. They force you to think differently, act differently, and ultimately achieve differently. Now, let's talk about the practical side. Common misconceptions. Grant addresses the common objections people have. But I don't have time for 10x effort. Cardone's response. You're wasting time right now. Track your week. How much time goes to TV, social media, meaningless activities? He's not saying work yourself to death. He's saying eliminate waste and focus that energy on your goals. But that's unsustainable. I'll burn out. His counter. You know what really burns you out? Being stuck, being broke, working hard for years with nothing to show for it. He argues that success energizes you, while failure drains you. When you're winning, you want to keep going. What about work-life balance? This is where Cardone gets controversial. He basically says forget balance while you're building. His view. Work-life balance is something successful people talk about after they've won. While you're building, you need to be obsessed. Now, I'll be honest, not everyone agrees with this. Last point. Some people think you can build success with more balance. But Cardone's point is, if you want exceptional results, you probably can't get there with an average work schedule. The key is, you get to choose. Just be honest about what you're choosing. Now, here's how to actually apply this. How to apply the 10x rule. Let me give you practical steps based on the book. Step 1. Rewrite your goals 10x bigger. Take your current major goal, multiply it by 10. Write that down. Yes, it should feel uncomfortable. If it doesn't scare you a little, it's not big enough. Step 2. Calculate 10x actions. No, think about what you were planning to do to hit your original goal. Multiply those actions by 10. Planning 10 sales calls? Make 100. Planning 2 social media posts? Make 20. Planning to reach out to 5 potential clients? Reach out to 50. Step 3. Create massive action habits. Cardone emphasizes daily massive action. What can you do every single day that moves you toward your 10x goal? Make it a non-negotiable habit. Do it before anything else. Step 4. Eliminate excuses. This is big in the book. Cardone says excuses are just explanations for why you're not taking action. The market, the economy, your background, your resources. He says successful people face the same obstacles. They just don't use them as excuses. Take 100% responsibility for your results. Step 5. Measure your activity. Track how much action you're actually taking. Most people overestimate how much they're doing. When you measure it, you realize you're probably at level 2 or 3, not level 4. Step 6. Never reduce the target. Here's a key rule from the book. When you're falling short of your goal, never lower the goal. Instead, increase the action. This keeps you in an offensive mindset rather than defensive. Let me give you a real example of how this played out for someone. Real-world example, Cardone shares a story about a struggling salesperson who came to him for advice. The guy was trying to make 50 sales that quarter. He'd made 20 calls and gotten nowhere. He was thinking about lowering his goal to 30 sales. Cardone asked him, "How many calls were you planning to make?" "About 100 total," the guy said. "That's your problem. Make 1,000 calls instead." The salesperson thought that was crazy, but he committed to it. He didn't hit 1,000 calls. He made about 600, but you know what? He hit his original goal of 50 sales, something that seemed impossible when he was going to make only 100 calls. The massive increase in action didn't just produce more results. It changed his energy, his confidence, and his approach. That's the power of 10x thinking in action. Now, let me wrap this up with the core message. Key takeaways. Let me summarize the main points from the 10x rule. 1. Most people underestimate what's required for success. They set small goals and take weak action. Then they wonder why they're stuck. 2. Success is your responsibility. With the economy, your circumstances, not luck. 3. Massive action is the solution to most problems. When you're stuck, don't retreat. Attack harder. 4. 10x goals force different thinking. You can't achieve 10x results with the same thinking that got you here. 5. There's no shortage of success. There's enough money, opportunity, and success for everyone. The only shortage is people willing to do what it takes. Grant Cardone's message is simple, but not easy. Stop making excuses, think bigger, and take massive action. You can agree or disagree with his approach, but you can't argue with his results. The question is, are you willing to try 10x thinking in your own life? What would change if you set goals 10 times bigger and took 10 times more action? That's something worth thinking about. Outro. That's the 10x rule by Grant Cardone. If you found this summary helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more book summaries. Drop a comment and let me know what's one area where you could apply 10x thinking. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.